Hey, all right. So we're getting our next set of NBA games. I was like, we got the Dallas Mavericks versus the Oklahoma City Thunder, and we got the Cleveland Cavaliers versus Boston. Now, I was like, I was like, let's get the one out the way of Boston, Cleveland. Now, I was like, Porzingis is probably not going to really play with Boston. Jared Allen is not there for Cleveland. So everybody's going to just think that Cleveland is going to just get washed by Boston. Now, I think I think they'll get a game. I was like, Miami was able to get a game. I think at least Cleveland could get a game. Two, Boston's always able to give you at least one. Let's be honest. So, in saying that, I was like, I think this is at least gonna go. See, it's really weird because I was like, I want to say five, but I'm like, I was like, and the reason I say that is because I'm like, I don't know if the rest of the team is gonna come play. I was like, Mitchell could go off, but he's the only guy that you really trust to go off. Is Garland going to show up to go off? I was like, he's going. I was like, they're going to have a hard time just because of like White and Drew Holiday against their backfield. I think where they normally have an advantage against most teams in the East is that both of their guard versus any other number of guards in the East, they pretty much have the advantage. But in this one, I'm like, it's going to be difficult because I'm like, Drew is going to be matched up on Don, and then you got Derek White versus Derek Garland, and then it's like, who else is coming to play? Um, I do think that I was like, if Jared Allen is able to come back while this series go on, I think it'll help just because I'm like, you got another set of hands on the board. You got a better down low presence. Um, but this shouldn't be a game. I mean, a series that really go past six, but I was like, really go past five. I was like, Tatum and Brown, like they should make do with them because there's nobody that could really check them, which I think is more an important part. That I'm like, if the guards are getting stop, who's stopping those? Nobody's stopping those two. Um, it's intriguing because I was like, I think Orlando would have actually gave the Celtics more of a fit, just because I think they got more perimeter players to throw, at uh, at Cleveland, and I think they got enough big bodies as well to also do that as well. You know, Wagner, Paulo, Carter, Isaac, but that's not the matchup we got. So I think this one is going to go five. I don't think I was like, there's nothing here that I could really say that I could see that Cleveland can do anything with Boston. Now, Dallas and Thunder, I was like, I could see this going six or seven. Um, I don't think that the Thunder really showed us anything against the Pelicans. I was like, just because I was like, I think that was a bad matchup for the Pelicans without Zion. I was like, what you was getting from Ingram wasn't All Star Ingram. Uh, CJ's always iffy sort of player. I was like, I was like, go off, and then he just gives you sort of like a good 20 that you just don't feel. And then the rest of their players were just kind of just, you know, like even the big, like Valanciunas being there, like even when he was being dominant, it wasn't felt the same way. So here, I think with Dallas, I think they're going to get I think it's a totally different dynamic. I was like, I think them having, I was like, I don't think, I was like, we'll see how if Kleber is going to really play here after his little like his shoulder and stuff like that. If he is able to go, I think that's just an extra big body. And I was like, I don't know. I don't think Oklahoma City have enough. Like I was like, there's Chet, and I know they got Williams. I would like the I don't know if his name Williams, but the other Jalen. But I don't think they're enough bodies or enough big men to deal with Gofford and Lively, and then if you get Kleber there, but also I think they got enough perimeter bodies also too with Green, Exum to along with when Kyrie's out there and stuff like that. I mean not Kyrie, Luka. Uh, like Shai and Luka, I think is going to be an interesting matchup because their advantage that they normally have is that they're big point guards. Shai being like 6'6" and Luka being 6'8", but against each other, you know. So to me, it's really going to be about the strength of Luka versus the speed of Shai in their matchups when they are matched up against each other. But Dort is really going to be pretty much on Luka, and so we'll see how that goes. Which I mean, I was like, they're not going to be matched up necessarily on each other like a lot. Um, we'll see what Dort does because Dort's a big, thick body. I also think too that I'm like, unlike Dallas, I'm like the Thunder can switch everything. Like Shea 6'6", Dort 6'4", but I was like thick body. Giddy 6'6". Jalen's like 6'5". I like Chet could go on the perimeter. He's 7 foot. So I was like they could switch everything as well too. Um, but I was like, and I was like, so we'll see how that goes. But I was like, you gotta have PJ versus Jalen Williams. I was like, they're about similar height. I was like, Williams is more of a scoring threat than PJ, but PJ being really good on defense. And I was like, he also could shoot the ball, so you can't just leave him alone. But also the scoring threat that Kyrie is, who is really going to guard him? I was like, he gonna kill Giddy. I was like, you want Shea to be on there and he possibly get in foul trouble. So it's like you do put Jalen Williams on there. I was like, he's like your second best scorer as well. Uh, I was like, to me, I would start Lively with Chet just because I feel like Lively can cover Chet more. I was like where he's on the perimeter or he's on the inside as well too. Um, I was like, uh, this this game really to me is really going to be like I feel like it could be one of those Kyrie games. I feel like that's like I was like, and don't get me wrong, he was electrifying in the Clippers series. I think he played, he was playing way higher than Luka is. So I was like, Luka still has good like really good games that he hasn't even shown us yet. Um, and I don't think this is going to necessarily be. I think we'll get a blowout just because I was like I think Dallas might just. I can see one of them get up on each other where it just got them. I was like, you've seen Dallas have like two games where they just like zoned out, where they just got it. I was like, they just uh, lost focus and they just was hitting shots, doing stupid things, taking stupid shots. And also sometimes like Kyrie don't heat up until like the second half. Like he lets everybody else sort of try to get going before he's like, okay, nobody is. I'll do this. Um, so I could see that, but I could also see that just like like if the Thunder try to run a gun, I could see them getting up on Dallas. But I could also see like Dallas and just being punishing on a lot of things, just taking advantage of not necessarily the youth of the Thunder, but the fact that they're all like small, like in like not just height, but out like outside the door, everybody else is a little it's small. Um, yeah, no, I was like, but but this has a chance to be an interesting series because if Luka and Kyrie are going, we know Shai's gonna get his point, but are we going to be able to get Jalen or someone else, going? I do think that if the Mavericks did have Hardaway, I'll feel a little bit better. I was like, also too, I also forgot Derrick Jones Jr. also gonna be in this as well too, and I was like, that's another dude that could switch play defense and is active, and I was like, I forgot about him, and I was like, now I think Dallas is gonna win. Before I said that, but now it was like, I was like, I might go Dallas a little bit more because now that's the extra wing defender they have. And like I said, if they had Tim Hardaway, I was like, they have another person of offense. because I do think it has been a lot of Kyrie and Luka just to go insane a lot of times, and the other dude stepped up. But I was like, those are the only two that can really get their own shot. Everybody else can't get their own shot. But Hardaway, and I know it's not Hardaway being like type stuff, but I was like Hardaway could get his own shot in the the next wave of people. Um, yeah, so well, I was like we'll have to see, but I think this is I think this is a closer matchup. I was like I think like anything is still going to be the big man for the Mavericks. I think this has the chance to really unlock. Cause I was like, and who else with Shai steps up to that superstar level? What if Kyrie and Luka go crazy, start hit their peak? Who else is going to be able to follow him? I think that's going to be another question. But yeah, I was like, I think Dallas, and I think Dallas in 6. Um, yeah, I think they're just too thick and stocky. With that, I would like where they can match the same height as the Thunder as well. And I think that they're like that. I think they'll have a little bit more toughness and edge than the Thunder. But yeah, we'll see how this all goes. Hopefully, some good games. I'm out.